Hello, this is Staci from Leadpages technical support team. Here's today's tech tip. Today's tech tip is all about an intro to our page layout. We'll be focusing on rows and columns. So all of our pages are organized in rows and columns. So sort of like an Excel spreadsheet, but instead of numbers, you're inputting widgets. To access these columns and rows, you're going to want to head over to our page layout tab. When you click on that, it's going to give you all the sections inside this particular page. When I click on a section, it's going to drop down and give me the rows and columns. The rows are here and then the columns are inside of them. So for this particular row, I only have one column. When using columns, you can also change out the settings, very similar to our section styles. When I click on the column itself, it pulls up our column settings. And here I can change out the color, I can add a background image, I can apply the margins, and I'm going to use this as an example. Change it left, bottom, right, as well as our padding. And you can use these for styling options or centering any of your content. As well as a styling arrow border. You can add it to the left, to the bottom, to the right, and then up top. The color of this arrow border is always going to match the background color up here. So right now, you'll notice we have a background color here. I can also adjust that by clicking on the color, going to add a color, or using one of my brand colors if I have those set, or using any color I've used on the template before, and then adjusting it. Here, I can change the opacity of the color, so I can make it lighter if I want to show my background image here, or not. I can also use columns to center things on a page. So whenever you want to center something, you're going to want to have an odd number of columns. So either 1, 3, 5, etc. So what I can do is I'm going to add a section here. And then I'm going to add a background, an image widget. I'm going to place an image inside of here so you can get a full picture. And so let's say I wanted to make this a little bit smaller and center it. I'd want to go to my page layout, go to the section it's in, and then add 2 columns so I can center it in the middle. As I add those columns, you'll notice they go to the right. I can always move them though by clicking on these 6 dots and then dragging. And that's how I can center that right in the middle. I can also hover over here and you'll see these little arrows pop up. I can adjust this out to make it bigger. You can also move rows. So let's say I added a row and I want it to be above this. I can say click these 6 dots and move it above. I can also remove rows. So let's say I want to delete this column. I can go to this trash can, then delete. You notice the moment I deleted that, it removed the image widget as well. If you ever delete something by mistake, you can go ahead and hit this undo button and bring it right back. I can also delete rows. So I can decide maybe I don't want this extra row. You'll notice in your page, if you see these kind of outlines here and you can't remove them inside the template right here, they're a row and column, so you can just go to your page layout and remove them there. So I can go ahead and delete. I can also duplicate rows. So if I wanted to add another row just like this with the 3 columns, I can hit duplicate. I can also use this image as a background image instead of in the image widget. So I'm going to remove this row and remove this image widget. And then I'm going to go to this column setting and add that background image. I'll use the same one as before. Now I have the background image in here. You'll notice that it does scrunch it a little bit, so I can adjust the sizing inside of here. I can have it fit to the container. It makes it a little small, so what I might want to do instead is add some space widgets inside of here. Just like so. And now I have this column with this background image. This is really great if you want to put another widget on top of it and use this as the background. If you want to subdue it a little bit, again, going back to that column settings here and adding an image color overlay might be just what it needs. And again, you go to add and then change the opacity here. Hope you enjoyed today's tech tip. We'll see you next time. If you have any questions, feel free to hit this question mark here and we'd be happy to help. Thanks.